North Korea is a place of profound mystery, sealed off from the world and shrouded in propaganda. For decades, the country has been defined by secrecy, its borders tightly controlled, and its people rarely glimpsed by outsiders. The stories that do emerge are often filtered through layers of state messaging, making it difficult to separate fact from fiction. We see grand parades and stoic soldiers, but these images are a carefully constructed facade. The world is shown a spectacle of unity and strength, designed to project power and discipline. Yet behind the synchronized steps and unwavering faces, there is a reality that remains largely unseen. The real stories, the human experiences behind those disciplined ranks, remain hidden. The lives of the individuals who make up these formations are rarely explored, their personal struggles and dreams overshadowed by the state's narrative. What is it truly like to be a woman in one of the world's most secretive armies? How do they navigate the expectations placed upon them, both as soldiers and as women, in a society where conformity is demanded and individuality is discouraged? These women are not just symbols. They are individuals with hopes, fears, and daily struggles. Each day, they face challenges that go far beyond the parade ground, coping with harsh conditions, limited resources, and the constant pressure to serve their country without question. To understand their reality, we must look past official narratives and listen to the rare testimonies of those who have left. Only through their voices can we begin to piece together a more honest picture of life inside the military and the sacrifices these women make. Their world is one of stark contrasts, entrusted with national defense, yet lacking basic necessities. They are expected to embody strength and loyalty, even as they struggle with hunger, exhaustion, and isolation. Their stories reveal not ideology, but the raw effort of surviving each day. It is a daily battle, not just against external threats, but against the hardships of their own environment and the weight of expectation. This journey is about finding the person behind the uniform and understanding what it means to be a female soldier in North Korea. By looking beyond the propaganda, we can begin to see the resilience, vulnerability, and humanity that exist within these hidden lives. For many young North Korean women, military service isn't a choice. It's mandatory. From the moment they finish school, the expectation is clear. They must trade their civilian lives for the rigid structure of the armed forces, regardless of their personal ambitions or family circumstances. Since 2015, conscription has placed women in roles far beyond support positions, making them integral to the country's defense. They are no longer confined to clerical work or medical aid. Instead, they are trained to operate heavy machinery, manage logistics, and even lead squads in the field. The state's need for a massive army, combined with falling birth rates, drives this policy. With fewer young people to fill the ranks, the regime relies on women to maintain its military strength, making their participation not just encouraged, but essential. For these women, the draft is a turning point. Personal dreams are put on hold for years of grueling service. Many are separated from their families for the first time, facing an uncertain future shaped by the demands of the state. Assigned to units far from home, they serve as border guards, in anti-aircraft batteries, and in a variety of roles that require constant vigilance and discipline. Some are even placed in combat units, where they must be ready to defend their country at a moment's notice, regardless of the risks involved. They learn to handle weapons, endure harsh training, and adapt to a life where every action is monitored and every mistake can have serious consequences. Personal freedoms are surrendered to strict military discipline. Daily routines are dictated by superiors, leaving little room for individuality or self-expression. Service is framed as a patriotic honor, but the reality is one of lost choice and rigid control. Propaganda posters celebrate their sacrifice, yet the cost is deeply personal. The transition from civilian to soldier is abrupt and all-consuming. Overnight, their identities are reshaped by the uniform they wear and the orders they must follow. Their lives are dictated by the regime's needs, not their own. Every day is a test of endurance, loyalty, and obedience. For many, it's the start of a long, arduous journey, one that will shape their futures in ways they can't yet imagine. Life in a North Korean military barracks is a daily struggle against scarcity. Official propaganda shows a strong army, but most soldiers, especially women, face chronic hardship. Rations are meager, living conditions harsh, and basic sanitation lacking. For women, the absence of sanitary products leads to health problems and humiliation. Discipline is absolute, Even minor infractions can mean severe punishment. Soldiers suppress emotions and endure in silence, surviving under intense psychological pressure. Yet camaraderie emerges. Women share rations, mend uniforms, and support each other. These small acts of solidarity are quiet resistance against a system that dehumanizes them. Their resilience is a testament to the human spirit in the harshest conditions. In early 2025, a striking scene unfolded near North Korean military bases. Female soldiers, still in uniform, quietly scoured the streets for discarded cigarette butts. These women, often overlooked in the grand narratives of military might, became a symbol of a different kind of battle. One fought not with weapons but with resourcefulness and grit. But they weren't searching for tobacco. Instead, they were after the cotton filters inside each butt, tiny scraps of material that had become unexpectedly precious. This desperate act reveals the depth of supply shortages in the North Korean army. Even the most basic necessities, like fabric and thread, had become rare commodities, forcing soldiers to improvise in ways unimaginable elsewhere. The cotton was carefully extracted and used to pad thin clothing, repair threadbare uniforms, and even stuff makeshift pillows for a little comfort during harsh nights. Some spun the cotton into thread, weaving it into valuable wedding blankets, a cherished item in Korean culture. In these moments, a microeconomy emerged within the barracks, where every scrap was bartered and nothing went to waste. Women traded tobacco with male soldiers in exchange for more filters, creating informal networks of exchange that helped them stretch their meager resources just a bit further. They pooled what little money or food they had, buying extra rice or vegetables for their units, ensuring that no one was left completely hungry. This ingenuity and solidarity highlight not only the Army's systemic failures, but also the remarkable resilience and creativity of its soldiers. The official supply chain is so broken that soldiers must scavenge, barter, and invent new ways to survive, turning every day into a test of endurance and adaptability. The image of a female soldier collecting trash to feed her comrades is a powerful symbol of the country's deep problems. It's a quiet rebellion, born not of politics or ideology, but of the simple, unyielding need to survive another day. These small acts of defiance and adaptation stand in stark contrast to the state's propaganda, which boasts of a self-sufficient, powerful army. The reality is far different. Hunger, scarcity, and the relentless will to endure, even as the world looks away. Their survival strategies, born of necessity, speak volumes about life inside North Korea's military, where hope and hardship walk hand in hand. The regime sees soldiers scavenging as a humiliation, undermining its image of strength. In March 2025, authorities cracked down, threatening 3 months of forced labor for anyone caught collecting cigarette butts. Despite the risk, many soldiers continue. Hunger outweighs fear of punishment. The threat of labor camps is less immediate than the certainty of starvation. Soldiers now scavenge in secret, playing a dangerous game with military police. This conflict exposes a core contradiction. The state demands loyalty, but fails to provide for its own. Acts of disobedience become necessary for survival. The crackdown is not just discipline, it's an attempt to hide the army's desperation. The punishment reveals the regime's inability to fix the underlying crisis. The struggle for food is a daily, silent rebellion. These women serve on one of the world's most volatile borders, shaped by constant geopolitical tension. Events like South Korea's martial law and North Korea's support for Russia in Ukraine heighten anxiety and uncertainty. Soldiers are told they're defending against hostile forces, and political indoctrination shapes their worldview. The possibility of deployment abroad is now real, raising the stakes of their service. International crises mean canceled leaves, intensified drills, and even less food. The threat of war is ever present, adding psychological strain to already difficult lives. These women are pawns in a global game, their fates tied to distant decisions. Their daily struggles are set against a backdrop of immense, unpredictable forces. Information about North Korea is often unreliable, distorted by speculation and misinformation. Sensational stories, like the viral fake report of North Korean women fighting in Russia, distract from real issues. Images can be manipulated, and false narratives spread quickly. The truth is harder to find, often coming from defectors or organizations with inside sources. Real stories, like collecting cigarette filters, are less dramatic but far more revealing. Distinguishing fact from fiction is crucial to understanding these women's lives. Misinformation obscures the daily realities of malnutrition and survival. We must seek out credible sources and listen to authentic voices. Only then can we grasp the true nature of their struggles. For most, North Korea is distant, but the DMZ offers a rare close-up view. Tourists peer across the border, sometimes spotting female soldiers, distant figures in a silent parallel world. Guides share official stories and museums display artifacts, but these glimpses are surface level. Binoculars can't reveal hunger, fear, or the daily grind of survival. The DMZ experience transforms the abstract into something real, putting a human face on distant stories. It reminds us these soldiers are not just statistics. They are real people in extraordinary circumstances. This brief glimpse can spark deeper curiosity and empathy. It's a starting point for seeking more nuanced human stories. The reality behind the border is far more complex than any tour can show. True understanding requires looking beyond the surface. To imagine life as a North Korean female soldier is to imagine a world of contradiction, responsibility and neglect, duty and deprivation. Their stories, like the cigarette filter economy, are testaments to resilience in a system designed to crush it. These women are individuals, not a monolith, each navigating impossible choices. Behind the headlines are real lives, marked by hardship and quiet acts of defiance. Empathy begins with knowledge, seeking credible sources and listening to those who've lived it. By honoring their reality, we resist dehumanizing narratives. Supporting organizations that document abuses and aid defectors is one way to help. These women deserve to be seen as human beings, not faceless symbols. Let their stories inspire respect, understanding, and a desire for a more compassionate future.